Praise thy holy name, Father. I praise you and I worship you, and I thank you for your loving kindness. And I'm asking peace to be upon your children, peace that passes understanding in these days of trouble, in these hours of trial. Put your hand upon your children. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, praise be to your holy name. Amen. I've been praying and just meditating on things. You know, when God, Yahweh, He gave us the privilege of making our own choices. So whether we serve Him or not, it is our choice. And I was thinking about this and the things that our government is doing. Now, on this thing about Obama's birth certificate, I looked at it. I've got the one that where he was supposed to be born overseas. And I've also got the one where he's supposed to have been born in Hawaii. Well, if I ever see Obama, and if Obama, you happen to stumble across this video, I have one question. Because I know this is possible because my husband, younger sister and brother was born overseas. Because he was in the military. And being that they were born overseas, they were given dual citizenship. So, being that they were born over there, but legally, if one of them had wanted to run for president, they could because of the circumstances of them being, the mother being American and the father, but being American, born overseas. Now, I want to know, Obama, is this the case? That you were born over there in a circumstances that made you eligible for dual citizenship? And if that's true, why are you lying? There's two birth certificates out there. I want to know the truth. So are you lying? And if I ever see you face to face, I'm going to ask you about it. May get me arrested, I don't care. But I'm going to. And every once in a while, you all come to Arkansas. But I want to know the truth. I want to know the truth. And if that's the case, why are you lying? Did you conveniently forget about where you was really born because of fear of not becoming a president? Or is this all a plot that you were born over there and a deception to get you into office? because even as a young man, you predicted that you was going to be president. And when you lived with the heirs and growing up, were you being prompt, raised, educated, and financially supported to one day become president of the United States? I want to know. I have a right to know as a citizen. Now I'm going to get into a little bit of the free choice thing, because we're supposed to have freedoms here in the United States, and they've been slowly taken away. The first one was car seats, was car belts. Now, all in well, they might save many lives. They may not. But see, the question is freedom. Now, I agree all children should be buckled in, but I am an adult. And living in a land that's supposed to be free, I should be able to make that choice, whether to wear one or not. But it was a slow and methodical takeover of our freedoms. Just little bills. Make them all wear seat belts, enslaving them to our will. They're going after cigarettes. Now, come on. I'm not advocating cigarettes, because I used to smoke and I quit back in 1991. And I had smoked for years. In fact, I began smoking when I was 13. But I quit because they were disturbing my health, my lungs, and I finally decided I wanted, making a free will choice, to stop smoking because it interfered with my health, and I wanted to be healthy. So I quit. It was hard, one of the hardest things I ever did, but it was my choice to quit. But they're trying to take that away from us too. But it's the little things. The little things. Like taking prayer out of school. Something that had been in school for years and years, from the very foundation of this United States, from the very foundation, from the very first school that ever was set up, prayer was a major thing. So what does the government do? Steps in and takes it out. Taking away freedom of choice. And so now they're trying to tell you what to eat and what not to eat. Another invasion of freedom of choice. They're trying to take away our guns. Even though it's been a principle and part of the Constitution to be able to bear arms. And of course they'll say all sorts of things, what it meant. It was meant for militia, it was meant for this, it was meant for that. Excuse me, we're in dire times. And in dire times, just like Hitler did, take away their guns so they cannot defend themselves. another freedom taken away. It's these little things that our government is doing, stripping away like a bark off the tree, stripping away that bark. And after a while, when you strip away enough and you get into the depth of that tree and into the heart of the tree, you destroy the tree. It will die. Now, with this new law taking away our freedom of speech, because if the president is around and the Secret Service is around, so I know if I'm able to get to him and ask him that question, I will be arrested because of the law he passed about the freedom of speech. I, as a citizen of this United States, it's illegal for me to say anything bad about Obama, especially standing within a few feet of him. And they're already classifying us as terrorists. Missouri has passed a law that is telling the police, if you have a bumper sticker of the other candidates running, like Ron Paul and them, Nuke, and all the other ones, if you have their bumper, their sticker on your bumper, you are to be looked at as a terrorist. If you stand for Yeshua, Jesus Christ, you're looked at as a terrorist. Back in, I believe it was 1996, I accidentally stumbled on the internet, and I'm not a hacker, but somehow or another, I did hack into the back door of some government documents that had already been passed by law. And there's this document that reads, giving instruction to all police force to watch out for religious groups, Christians, because they are teaching in a takeover of this country when Jesus Christ, Yeshua, comes back to earth again to rule and reign. So therefore, we're advocating a new ruler, a new ruling ship upon this earth that will take away the authority of the government. So therefore, we are to be classified as terrorists, and there are laws in way to arrest us and put us in camps. It was I read the whole thing, all the laws detailing how to handle Christians and how to arrest them and detain them in camps. Plain. Well, I was about to print it out. At least got to read it. But I was going to print it out. And all of a sudden, I had this little thing come upon my deal saying I was in a restricted, top secret place, in documents that I wasn't supposed to see. And that if I didn't cease and desist, that they would download a virus upon my mainframe that would burn up my computer, and that there would be gentlemen sent to my door to interrogate me. Well, needless to say, I didn't want my computer destroyed, so I got right off of that site. And I didn't even try to download it. Probably couldn't have at that point, because it probably had it fixed where I couldn't do it. And of course, I haven't went back there. But there are laws on the document that nobody knows about. Secret laws leading up to this. And Obama is signing other laws into effect left and right. Taking away our freedom of speech, taking away where you can't own anything. You know, if you own a business and the government deems that it's necessary to take that business over for the good of the country, they can. If they come down the street and see your house, and more than likely mine, because I got a cross. My home isn't much, but I have a cross out there, so they can deem that they need that property, and they could take it away from me by right of domain. But I'm telling you, with this birth certificate that I've found, I think there needs to be a deeper investigation. And if he was really born over there, maybe he needs to be arrested for treason. Because he lied under oath. He lied to the country. I don't care if he has dual citizenship papers. He lied under oath. That's a felony. And you can be arrested for that and put in prison. A felony to lie under oath. Wake up, America. Your rights have been slowly taken away from you for years now. And we sat back and did nothing. With all these executive orders that he's signing, now we have no rights. We don't. We don't even have a right to our property. We don't have a right to store food. And this other new law, it's against the law to hand out food to the homeless. When I heard that, I went, oh my word. And it's created by an organization that says it's not healthy food because it has too much salt in there. They use that little excuse, heart problems. Well, if you're a man or a woman or a child living on the streets, you have no income, you have no food, and you're starving to death. What does the salt matter anyway? You're going to die if you don't get the nourishment that you need. How dare they go and pass a law like that? It's government control. They don't want you feeding the poor. They want that poor people to be subject to them. That they have to come to the government to get all their necessities. And you, as a Christian-based organization, would not be able to give these people food because of the salt factor. They want to control your life. They want to control your giving. They want to control your thoughts. They want to control your actions. And they want to tell you, you no longer have the freedom of choice. They even want to take away what God Himself gave us the right to do. Make that freedom of choice. That's the right, the privilege that God gave us. The freedom of choice. That self-will factor. And daily, the government is taking it away from us. Stand up, people. Wake up. Wake up. Call your senators. Call your congressmen and demand your rights. And demand our president to step forward and tell the truth. For once in his life, step forward and tell the truth. Or arrest him and put him in prison. That's just the way I feel about it. Kathy brought it up. I agree with her. I do. And Obama, if you happen to stumble across this and you don't like that, at my age and seeing so much stuff go on here in America, I'm going to tell you, I don't care whether you like it or not. Do you understand? I don't care whether you like it or not. This government is supposed to be for the people, by the people. Not for one man named Obama and his dictatorship. And you know, they talk about all of these things. I've seen it on, well, you see it on that newsreel. There's these little blocks that will keep him from becoming a dictator. I'm telling you, blocks can be removed. And in fact, there could be something coming up the pike that our Congress and our senators will sign it all over to him because they will decide it's the best thing to do for the country. Watch and see. Watch and see. And I want to know why the Bushes and everybody are so hipped on getting Ron. I mean, not Ron Paul, but getting the Republican that's ahead right now to become the man of the Republican Party to run against Obama. Do the higher authorities know there's no way he can win and Obama will win again? Wake up, America. Just wake up before it's too late. Wake up. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, wake up.